Mr. 2020 and the Golden One dropping wrestling talk. Wrestling adventure storytelling, no fake news here. Yo, Mr. 2020.
Hey, Mike. We're back again.
Yeah, hey buddy, how are you?
I'm good. I hope everyone else is tuning in and enjoying the show each and every week. And for the ones that are not, let us know. We still like to have constructive criticism. We may not like it, but we'll take it. Ain't that right?
Yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah. So nothing on my end, Mike, has really been spectacular in the last week. Nothing new, or the last few days, I guess we can say. Nothing new's happened. I got some wrestling shows coming up. I'm in talks with some other wrestling stuff that I can't go into details yet. That may be pretty cool and big, but we don't want to tell the listeners any of this yet. But nonetheless, because I don't want to give you false hope in case things don't go through, because that's the professional wrestling business. Things don't always go through. And if they do, sometimes not good. But it's just the way nature of the beast in the world. So anyway, is there anything that we need to throw out there that you want to mention?
Yeah, you're in Florida right now, right?
Yeah.
Why are you popping up on jobs for Bonsack Walmart in Virginia if you're in Florida?
Yeah.
Because you can become and work in my department 1 to 10. It's open for you, and they will welcome you back with open arms. They said.
Yeah. I know it sounds weird, but apparently what's going on is I applied for some positions through that company, and for some reason, being that location was still on the application site, it sends it to any store that's on there that I may not even apply to. And unfortunately, they keep getting, I guess they got that right. And yeah, so I can't explain it no more than as an accident. I'm really not looking for employment in the state of Virginia. And I don't even know how long ago I did that. It wasn't even recent, I don't believe.
I don't know.
Yeah, so that's what happened with that.
And then, so me and a guy got into it a little bit at work today. Well, he did it. I just, believe it or not, I kept my mouth shut and walked away and everything. Made him really mad. But I should be the bigger person and say, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take the time right now and say, let's get this podcast going.
I agree with that. So before we go any further, I want to mention one more thing. I just forgot I wanted to mention this because it brought back memories. When I sent something to you earlier today, I do not know if you remember it or even had a chance to see it. So 35 years ago today, Mike, 35. And how old are you?
34, I'll be 35 in May.
So, okay, you're close here. So basically, right the year you were born. But today in wrestling history, today, right? February what are we on, 17th, 18th? 17th. Okay. So 35 years ago today in Atlanta, Georgia, the WCW World Six-Man title was established. Junkyard Dog Tommy Rich and Ricky Morton defeated Buddy Landel, Dutch Mantell, and Dr. X to become the new champions. Of course, the belts were later taken out from the company in December of the same year after, I can't remember who held them last, but I do know for a fact that the Fabulous Freebirds of Jimmy Garvin, Michael Hayes, and Bad Street, which was Brad Armstrong, defeated the three men I just mentioned, Morton, Dog, and Rich, in June of that year, right? So all I want to say about that is I remember that year so good. in 91. Really good year for me watching professional wrestling. And that's the year that Morton and Rich joined the York Foundation with Terry Taylor. And that was a really good stint as well. But a lot of these Atlanta, Georgia shows, Mike, I went to in 91 and 92. I would go to Georgia and see these shows. So this was one I actually went to. And I actually went to one later that year that crowned the United States Heavyweight Champion in Atlanta at the Omni, the historic Omni. Man, that was a building that somebody had never been in. It was growing up, there were several buildings that I always wanted to go to, right? Just a fan. I didn't have to work in it, just as a fan. The Omni in Atlanta, the old Charlotte Coliseum on Independence Boulevard, the Memphis, Tennessee Mid-South Coliseum, and Madison Square Garden. Now, there's only one out of the four that I have never been to, and that's Madison Square Garden. Never stepped foot in it, never seen the outside of it, and I've never worked in it. So we'll see how that goes one day. That's my goal, is to get to New York and see something in Madison Square Garden. Maybe a professional wrestling show would be the thing I'd like to see there. So there we go. This day in history, 35 years ago, Mike. You're not even 35 quite yet. That's a long time ago.
Yes. Yeah. 35 years ago, you was what? 35 yourself?
Mike, I would give you like a couple middle fingers here, but I'm trying to keep it clean this week.
What?
So,
Right.
so Mike, let everybody know the topic we're going to do, and it's a topic we brought up months ago. We never got around to when we just were the audio version.
Is that the topic we talked about last year in 2025?
Yes, August, September-ish. We never talked about
Yeah.
it since.
It seemed like it was a long time ago, but
6 months or more.
this topic is one of our favorite companies,
Yes.
and it's TNA. It's gonna be the top 10 TNA World Champions.
That's right. That's right. We're going to hit that subject today, guys. And before we jump into that, I do want to remind you that you can go to this email address that I just popped up for you. You can send your comments, questions in there. I haven't checked it in about 6 weeks. And that's the honest truth. I apologize. I don't even know if there's questions in there. And for some reason, I cannot get it to stay on the screen. I do not know what's going on. But there you go. I also want to let everybody know before we start this long conversation is to go to cowboyrevolution.com and at checkout use code JamieT123 for 15% off and help the veterans out there as well. So, sorry about it popping off again. I do not know why stuff's not staying on the screen. I'm glad we're not on the local news. We would be very bad there, wouldn't we? I should be a weatherman. Hey, right here, it's going to rain later. But so let's start off with the topic. Do you want to start off with? We're going to start at 10 up, like we did with the WCW top 10, of course. Now, do we do? You have honorable mentions, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Do you want to do the honorable mentions first, or do you just want to start at 10 and do the honorable mentions after?
Let's just knock out the honorable mentions.
Okay.
But I don't want to get nobody no false hope of them being up in the top 10 when they're probably not going to be in the top 10. Sorry, y'all. I mean, everybody just can't be in the top 10.
That's true.
But
not everyone
as James reminded me, in the WCW top 10, Vince Russo was in the top 10 of mine, but Ric Flair was not.
Yeah.
Or Booker T. So who knows? Maybe just be a strange list for me again.
So,
but it's my top 10. That's all.
That's right. So let's go ahead. Let's do your honorable mentions first, Mike. We'll start with you. We'll start off hot. Let's go in hot, man.
All right, the first one, and like I wanted to put on. I don't know if he really deserves to be in the top 10 because there's so many good wrestlers. in
Okay.
TNA. But I put him in the honorable mention because he was the first TNA champion to appear on WWTV with the championship at the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, and that's Joe Hendry.
Okay.
I mean, if you bringing in the top pros for TNA to two of the biggest shows in WWE, you deserve to have an honorable mention.
Okay. May I ask you one question?
Yeah.
Do you believe in Joe Hendry?
If
I've got the
he
clap.
pops up behind me, I might run away.
Dude, something weird is behind you right now. It's a shadow.
Yeah, no, it's your face up there.
Boo. So, is that the only honorable mention?
No.
Oh.
Then it's one more.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I only put him on here. It's like a personal reason, I guess. But TNA came to Salem, Virginia,
Mm-hmm.
and RVD was the champion.
Right.
I think RVD is a whole lot better in WWE or in ECW by far.
Yeah.
He was okay in TNA. Like he had a good title run. It was like 100-something days. But for me, it wasn't really memorable and everything. But when he was in Salem, Virginia, it was him versus AJ Styles in the match with Mick Foley as the special guest referee.
Right.
So that's why I put him as an honorable mention. Only because he showed up to Salem, Virginia as a champion.
Okay. Hey, it's you have your reasons. We all have our reasons. Yeah.
Like I said, it's my list. Y'all might not like it, but if y'all don't like it, email WrestleRef123@gmail.com and just tell me you don't like it.
There it is. That's right.
All right. Do you have any honorable mention? That's the only two I have.
Okay. So I do have a couple here. So I'm going to give an honorable mention to Johnny Impact because in 2017, 2018, I think it was around them years he was in there. I think I got my years right. I also did some history search because I thought he held the title for a long time, 196 days. And I always thought Johnny Impact or Johnny Nitro, whatever name you call him, was very entertaining. And he also was in a tag team. Was it Eminem? Okay. His buddy, partner in that was Joey Mercury. And Joey Mercury was one of the Omega originals. And Joey never gets his just due. And Joey was he was a phenomenal worker. And he's young guy like me back in the day, like teenager starting out at around the same time. So that always has a soft spot in my heart when I saw them two together. And I put him as an honorable mention. I wish he could have been in the top 10, but there's so many champions over the years because people got to realize TNA's been around since 2001. And even though it's changed owners and management and all that throughout the years, it's still there today in 2026. So regardless of who was running it, Johnny Impact deserves at least a mention. And if we could have like ties and stuff in the top 10, which we're not doing, he would probably be in there somewhere. What do you think about Johnny Impact?
Oh, well, it depends on which name you call him. Like you said, he was John Morrison, Johnny Nitro, Johnny Impact. In AEW, he was Johnny Elite. Like, depends on like where he goes.
Yeah.
And really good athlete. That was I think his title run for me, and I didn't put him on the top 10, but I think the start of his championship run was when he defeated Austin Aries at that Slammiversary, I think. And right after the match, Austin Aries he no-sold the move. He got up, got mad about something, flipped off the people in charge and walked out and stuff.
Yeah.
It was like a big chaos, and
Mm-hmm.
that kind of put like a shadow, like a dark shadow on the
And that was legit
championship
heat.
for me. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that kind of made me forget about him. But I mean, he was a good champion. He carried it pretty well. Wherever he
Yeah.
goes, he knocks it out of the park.
Yep.
So,
Agreed. That's why he was my honorable mention. Another one is the Cowboy James Storm. And the reason I say that is he was one of the TNA originals from day one, from the Asylum out of Nashville, the weekly pay-per-views for $10 every Wednesday. He's been there since day one. He was primarily he became a tag team guy, and he held so many tag team titles there that if he never held a world title, it really wouldn't have mattered. He was a big star. And, this is a true story too. I'll tell you a story about James. And I've always liked James. I met him back in the Burt Prentice days, before when I went into WCW, he would come in as an extra, R&B security, and do worldwide taping matches and all that, right? Well, James is always a cool dude. I always loved being around James and Chris Harris both. Well, I went back to TNA to do some fill-ins, and we talked about this one week. It was like 2015, 2016, 2014. I don't know, one of them years in there. It's all gets miscombobulated after a while. But it was during the time that remember when he worked for NXT and Triple H was really trying to sign him, right? They loved James. They were really trying to sign him. But at the time, it was called Impact Wrestling, I guess, not TNA. And they had made a deal where it made it better for James. He had more home life. And so James stayed with Impact. And me and him actually talked about it at one of them tapings about him staying, and he didn't go, and he could have went and all this, right? But ultimately, I think James made the best move because homegrown talent from TNA, he stayed there forever. And I'm glad he went back instead of going to NXT and signing personally, because let's just say the facts here, right, bro? WWE has a problem with getting these talents that are really good everywhere else, and then they fall in the shuffle and nothing happens. Now, AJ's is probably a special case. AJ is phenomenal. I'm not saying that James isn't as good a worker as AJ, but different circumstances, and Triple H was running the show at this point, but talent, right, in 2016. I don't even know if this was 2016. I don't even know what year this was, but I just think that I don't think Triple H had the full grasp of NXT yet, right? So I think even though he loved him, I think that sadly, I don't know. I just have the way WWE does things is a bad taste in my mouth to some of these talents, right? Because Chris Harris had all the potential in the world, but the right people wasn't in charge at the time. And we saw what happened, right? So anyway, James is phenomenal as well. And he was getting an honorable mention for his TNA title run because he was one of the longest guys that stayed with the company. So that's my two honorable mentions. And if I had a third one, it'd be Bobby Lashley, because he was always entertaining to watch, and he had the good look for TV, and he was a champion for nearly 200 days at Impact. So that would be a third one I'd give a mention to. Yeah.
I agree with that about James Storm.
Oh, he's great, man. I love James.
But Bobby Lashley, man, he was excuse me. I think he was a better champion in TNA than he was in WWE.
Yes,
as a world champion.
Mm-hmm.
Man, he had the look, he had the power, like you name it, he had it.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything that he did was good. I liked his first run as in TNA, but it wasn't really that long of a run.
Yeah.
But then I was really happy to see Bobby Lashley come back and get the championship and stuff, and show how about everybody that he was, how dominant he was.
Yeah.
So those are three good honorable mentions that you named.
Oh yeah.
Like if I would have had a third one, I probably would have put Bobby Lashley as the honorable mention on mine
Gotcha.
because
Awesome.
he really was good. I
Yes.
liked him a lot.
So before we jump into this top 10, I know you've been like, I'm gonna be surprised with the way you got it, because you know how I think, and I kind of got to feel how you think about things, and I know we're probably both we may have some disagreements here, and if we do, we can speak up. But it's probably going to be the problem is the disagreements is probably going to happen towards the top few when we get down
Yeah.
towards the bottom, and we're like, wait a minute, how did this happen, right? So we'll see how
Okay.
this goes. Who wants to kick this off, you or me?
You can.
Okay.
Yeah.
So guys, I want you to understand that you're getting ready to hear a great top 10 greatest TNA champions. So, with
From who? You or
all
me?
for me, bro. So, I'm going to give everybody out there the big drum roll. Well, I was. Here we go. All right. I'm excited. So, starting off with number 10, and I will give a couple reasons why he is here. Okay. Number 10 is the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock. UFC champion. Ken Shamrock was the first TNA heavyweight champion. That's why he's got to be in the top 10 somewhere, in my opinion. He kick-started the company. And what better man could you not kickstart the company with? Because I believe when he had his highest height in WWF in the late 90s, this man should have had at least a small run with the WWF title. So when he got that TNA title, the NWA title at the time, of course, it meant so much. And the inaugural TNA champion, he has all the accolades of his past in the UFC. He went back to UFC and did some other stuff overseas with fighting. But where a lot of people don't know about Ken Shamrock, he started out in 1989 in Mooresville, North Carolina, being initially trained by Nelson Royal. And Nelson Royal has a soft spot in my heart because he was one of the guys in my early years that I learned some pointers from. And he's an old Jim Crockett mainstay, IWA mainstay in the Carolinas in the 70s going into the 80s. And also, Ken Shamrock was Vince Torelli in South Atlantic Pro Wrestling in 1990 and 91 with Paul Jones as his manager as Jones's Rangers until he turned on Paul Jones, everybody. Let me give you a history lesson here. And went with the Tennessee stud Robert Fuller. A lot of you know him as, what was his gimmick on WCW? Mike? Robert Fuller. He was the manager. He dressed up in the white suit. Kind of reminds you of KFC. Colonel Rob Parker. That's it.
Yep.
And he was Tennessee Lee with Jeff Jarrett in 1997 in the WWF when Jarrett came back with Cornette and the NWA role and all that. So, long story short, Ken Shamrock gets it because of his past history, me growing up as a child, and his past WWF history. He should have beat Shawn Michaels at that December 1997 in your house. I'm sorry. I don't know why he didn't. Even if he kept it a month, it should have happened. Okay.
Nice. He was a good champion. My number 10, and no drum rolls for this one.
You don't want a drum roll?
Well, no, I'm gonna save my drum roll.
You want a gong?
No, I'm gonna save my rumble roll and everything for the person that really deserves it in the middle of the list.
Okay.
But number 10 is gonna be R-Truth.
Okay.
I put him number 10. He was the first black NWA champion.
Yeah.
Man, what he did at TNA, man, his work there was unbelievable. We talked about this when Cena turned heel and Truth comes and shakes his head or everything. And I thought WWE was going to pull the trigger and have him do that run like he did in TNA. Right. And I think it would have worked in WWE. But man, if y'all haven't seen his matches in TNA, y'all need to go back and watch them. They're really good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like
Probably
it
his
wasn't
best.
like no comedy. Like he was he was teamed up with New Age Outlaws and everything.
Yep.
Um, so his one champion NWA TNA championship reign was 105 days.
Yeah.
Okay, just a little thing to see how like dominant that part was. Dusty Rhodes, when he held the NWA championship 3 different times, he
Mhm.
only held it for 99 days combined. So, I mean, just thinking about that, I mean, you just see what the potential was, and it was a shame that WWE never pulled the trigger on it.
Mhm.
But I'm happy TNA did because he was a major star there for a
Yep.
really long time.
Right. I agree. Yeah. That is actually a good pick. And he's your number 10, right?
Number 10.
Well, let's go to my number 9, unless you got anything else to add to that.
No, you're good.
Okay. Number 9 is Rob Van Dam. And the reason he ain't getting any higher is because, like I said, there's so many that we had to really go through the list and think about this hard. This might have been harder than the WCW top 10 to put this together because let's just be honest, the length of the company being open is double or more than what WCW was. It really was. So they had. I'm not. I'm not saying they had more champions because towards the end the title would change every week on Nitro, but they certainly had a lot of champions to go through and a lot of great talent. And RVD hits number 9. I was always a big RVD fan, ECW days. Before the ECW days, I got to experiencing where? South Atlantic Pro Wrestling. And he was always good there. And yeah, he was Robbie V in early WCW, like 93. But he came in there. I got to referee some of his matches, a couple of them while he was there in 2010, when I was there with him in 2010. And one, the most memorable was him and Joe, and they probably went a good 10, 12 minutes on TV time, which is a long time for a TV match. And then that's where I took the muscle buster from Joe afterwards because he was upset that he lost another match. It was a gimmick they were playing. Joe keeps losing, right, to building back up later. And then it was a world title match live on Impact. It was really cool. So RVD hits number 9.
Uh, I mean, I'm happy you got him up in your top 10. Like I said, he was just an honorable mention for me. But I don't know, like he's good. But out of the three companies like ECW, TNA, and WWE, in my opinion, the TNA one was the least memorable one for me.
Okay.
But that's just me. Like I personally just like them better in ECW than WWE, anyways. But it's not like people had like you got Cena and Stone Cold, like WWE guys. You had Flair, you had Sting as WCW people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Rob Van Dam for me was ECW, Tommy Dreamer ECW. So it just didn't feel right when they come in and win another championship, in my opinion.
Right.
But
Okay.
but my number 9. Speaking of, I don't agree with people from other companies winning the championship. My number 9 is the AEW wrestler Kenny Omega, and
Okay.
I only put him on here because he did have some memorable matches during this time, but it was during COVID.
Yeah.
The only reason I put him on, Now, if it was a regular, say, like just this year or last year, halfway through the year, he might not even been on the list. But during the COVID years, carrying the company when they actually needed somebody, his gimmick was the belt collector, but it was shown on AEW where at this time AEW had more eyes and everything. They was hot and fresh. He carried TNA, in my opinion, through the COVID years and stuff. Just what he did, because coming out of COVID, you got to think he was just coming out of New Japan, so all eyes was on Kenny. Starting a new company, all eyes was on Kenny and AEW. If it wasn't for that, do we even have a TNA right now? Do you think they would have shut down during COVID? I mean, it's a possibility. We never know. But just carrying it during the COVID years like he did, that's why I put him up on there.
Okay. I respect that. I think Kenny Omega is definitely a talented individual. He's had some really good matches with people in TNA. I think some of his best work was with Swan.
Yeah.
He worked with Swan. I'm pretty sure I remember seeing this.
Yeah.
Unless I dreamed it.
No, you did.
Okay. And I love, Rich Swan, good kid. I met him here in Florida. We went to China together. And I know that Rich could have a match with anybody, especially somebody that does the kind of matches and wrestling that these guys do. And none better than Rich. So good for you. Rich Swan was a TNA champion too. Yeah. So, I probably should have at least honorable mentioned him earlier, but there you go. You got it now. But no, I respect your Kenny Omega. I think he's talented. And, weird time, though, to see them, like, partnering up with AEW then, and now it's WWE for years, right? So it's weird.
Like, if it wasn't for the COVID years of carrying it and keeping it afloat during that time, a lot of stuff kind of bankrupted, went out of business. I mean, you had at the time probably the biggest name in wrestling coming in hot like he did. And then, like I said, they had a working relationship, so they kept it TNA afloat.
Yep.
And everything. So that's why, I mean, you got to give respect to that, because if it was for him and then AEW trying to help out and stuff, we might not see like the wrestlers today, like Joe Hendry making it to WWE and stuff. You might not see Jordan Grace and stuff like that. So,
what about, hey, who's the name that we didn't think about? Tessa Blanchard was the heavyweight champion as well.
Well, I still got a number one on my list to say.
Oh, okay. All right. Aha. So who's up now?
You, number 8.
Okay. Number 8 is none other than Christian Cage. I think during 2005 and 6, when he went there, he was at a bad moment in WWE. You know how they get, after a while, talent gets surfaced through the filter, I guess we can say. And after a while, it's like, man, what are you doing with these guys, right? So when he went into TNA, he like reborn himself, in my opinion, them few years he was there. And I think he was there 3 or 4 years. And, he had great matches with everybody, there. Sting, Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, AJ, you name it. So Christian Cage gets number 8 because I believe that it was probably the best thing he did for his career when he went there, won the title, and redid himself and went back to WWE and got all that run again, right? So number 8 is Christian Cage.
Yeah, respect that. I may have not put him on my list.
Okay.
Not because I don't like him or not, but it's like you said, there's so many good TNA champions. He could have fell into like a honorable mention for me. I don't know how many honorable mentions I can put. I only did two. I mean, I could have put like 5 or 6 on there, but really good. I wish WWE would have gave him an opportunity, not as the champion because he did get title run, but I wish they would have gave him a chance, like a real fair chance, because I think they only gave him a chance because how the storyline was, and then Edge had to retire and stuff, and it's like they almost just gave him the title for like the fans, not because they believed in them. TNA actually believed in him. You showed, you can see how much of a main eventer he was at that time, especially with this stuff with Jeff Jarrett. Man, those was some really good times.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
so yeah, I like Christian Cage. That's
Yeah.
number 8 for you.
So who's before we get there, is this gonna surprise me or just number 8?
Yeah, it might not surprise you as much as you think,
Okay.
but I wish I could have had her higher on the list.
Mm-hmm.
But the only reason I didn't is because we already kind of talked about it one time.
Okay.
His reign was only 8 days long, I think,
Okay.
and that's the Cowboy James Storm.
Okay.
Man, like you said, homegrown talent, there since day one. America's Most Wanted,
Yep.
beer money coming down with the little boozer cruiser. I love them things. If I get enough money, I'm going to buy me one myself. Uh, but I mean, he was the beer drinking champion or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a WWE toy spinner belt, and he put a beer bottle on it, so
Yeah.
you could tell what it was, and they got away with it. Like, so I don't know, like I wish he could have had a more of a championship run because the TNA he was probably, if I had a Mount Rushmore for TNA, he would definitely be on it.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, I wish I could have put him a whole lot higher and stuff. But so number 8 is about as high as he can go for me.
Okay.
I really wish I could put him in the top 5, honestly,
Yeah.
because I was like I wanted to, because talk about like Mount Rushmore and stuff. He's up in it. So you would think maybe he could slide in because of that reason.
Yeah.
But I'm actually going to try to do like a fair list, and I really think the 8th spot for me is where he needs to go.
Okay. Cool. Works for me. I'm not going to argue with that. Like I said earlier, always a big James Storm fan and a good dude overall. So I cannot argue with him being anywhere in that top 10. If you chose him as 1, I'd respect it because he's well deserving of being in anywhere talked about TNA. He deserved to be talked about. That's for sure. So before we move along, talking about Cowboys, don't forget to go to cowboyrevolution.com at checkout, guys. Use code JMET123 for 15% off. And I promise I haven't had no real American beer. I'm sorry. I haven't had any real American beer today. So I promise you, nothing yet. Just some energy drinks and some water. But anyway.
It sounds like you guys a little bit of the real American beer.
I wish I did, but I don't. Okay.
All right.
So we're moving on. We're at number 6, I believe, right? 7. Sorry, 7. God, trying to plead my case there isn't helping me any, is it?
Number 7.
Number 7. This may surprise you that he got number 7, and it may not. But you've already mentioned him once. R-Truth. R-Truth hits number 7, just for the mere fact that he was in the early days of TNA. He helped build that brand out of the asylum. along with Ken Shamrock, all the early guys, right, that helped build it, Jeff Jarrett, and so on. AJ Styles, we mentioned his name. Being that he helped build that brand, he already had a name coming out from WWF. And he started in 1998. The only reason I know that because he started with the same guy that trained me in 93, or broke me in the business in 93, the Italian Stallion. Started with the same company in 98, though. Got trained there. Got signed by WWF. He worked NWA Wildside against AJ Styles matches. I got to referee quite a few of them. So I was refereeing these two guys before they were actually in TNA doing the same stuff in the late 90s, like 99. But anyway, very well deserving. First NWA, basically goes down in the history books as first NWA black heavyweight champion. You can't beat that. That's kudos right there. It's just like when Ron Simmons got the WCW title in 92. That was a big deal, and Ron Simmons deserved it and all that. So he has deserved it. He helped build that company, and R-Truth hits number 7. So who do we got 7 on your list?
Well, I respect R-Truth being there. Like, I wanted to put him higher, but we keep saying there's so many good champions. So, like, I probably could have 5 through 10. It could be anybody. Like, they could really be in and out. Really, like, it's really hard to. It's like, oh, you're definitely number 8. You're definitely number 7. So truth is, if he's not in the top 10 of TNA champions, just for what he did, it'd be a shame. So I'm happy he did make both our lists.
Yep, absolutely. I'm glad he hit yours too, man.
So my number 7, and you already brought him up once.
Okay.
And you might want to know why he's so high. But only because he's the first NWA TNA champion, Ken Shamrock.
Okay. Nice.
I put him at 7. Like I said, he can go in and out. Like,
yeah.
But getting the honor to be the first champion in a new company, putting that pressure, like all the weight and pressure on your back to carry the company, that the company you just came from didn't believe in you. But this little company that just starting out, they believe in you enough to make you their first champion. And then he had some really good matches. Like, to win that match and everything, that was a really good match.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's number 7 on my list.
Okay. I like that, actually. Because, it's very hard to put these top 10s together.
Yeah.
But Shamrock has to be in it. So I'm glad he's your number 7. Honestly, he probably should have been higher in mine. It was just so hard to put this dang thing together, man. I don't know if you had that much trouble, but I did. I was sitting there going, man.
When we first talked about it, I put my list together, and I put it off to the side, and I said, I'm not changing it. It's like, because I would have been every single day changing pieces in and out, like who's this and that and everything.
Yeah.
And so I had to leave it like it was, because if not, I'd be driving myself crazy. Be like, oh man, he should have been up higher. He should have been lower.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. Number 6 probably won't be a big shocker to you to be in the top 10. Well, heck, all these guys we talked about ain't a shocker yet. I just know when we get down to the top 2 or 3, we're going to be like, we might disagree with each other. Maybe by that point. But right now, everything's all gravy, right? So, number 6 is Samoa Joe. He had 182 days, guys, in 2008 as the TNA heavyweight champion. He had great matches with Kurt Angle, Christopher Daniels, AJ Styles. Samoa Joe is in the X division. Samoa Joe can do it all, and he's a big man. So Samoa Joe hits number 6, and I like Joe personally. I know I say that about a lot of these guys, but when you see them every week or every other week, or you're on the road with them a little bit, you get to know each other. You have conversations. If you do have a beer or something, you have it at the bar. You may have a conversation in the locker room. If not at TV and the house show loops, it's really good to catch up with the guys more because everybody's not worried about TV. But you just know some of these guys, know that they got families just the same as you, have the same values, and love the business as much as you, and it's great. And Samoa Joe hits number 6. Couldn't ask for a better human being or a better TNA heavyweight champion. And 2008 was one of the really good years for TNA. Yeah.
It really was.
That's when I actually purchased a Joe shirt in the summer of 2008. Got it at Spencer Gifts. Everybody knows what Spencer Gifts is. It's always in the mall. And which one of my nephews ended up getting it years later. He actually put it on while he was staying down here and went home with it. So, Jordan, I hope you enjoyed that, buddy. Anyway. But yeah, Samoa Joe hits number 6, my man.
Okay. I respect that. Are you good? Are you done with Joe?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure.
I can talk all day. You know that sometimes. but yeah, I mean, if we talk about Joe, it would just be, when he gave the muscle buster to me, a lot of guys, I'll just say this. I wasn't scared because Joe made sure that he was going to protect you. And Joe protected me. And when he gave me that particular move that night, my landing was perfectly flat and I was perfectly okay. I've heard he's injured somebody or one or two people throughout the business, but it happens and it's accidents. That could have happened to me as well as an accident, but I know Joe enough to know that he would never hurt anybody deliberately if somebody gets hurt, right? None of us want to get in there hurting somebody deliberately, man. Just like we talked weeks ago, Mike, and we'll move on to your number 6. The main thing about this business is we all get in there in order to know how to do this, to protect each other. Referees are there we're not just there to call law and order. We're also there to protect the guys in case something happens. We got to make that decision, right? So that's a big part. And the boys get in there, they don't want to hurt each other. They want to go home to their families, their wives, their kids, or whatever it may be, and go home safe. So if anybody gets in this business to hurt somebody, they're in the wrong business to begin with. I'll tell you that right now. And you're a horrible human being. But everybody wants to protect each other, man. So we can all go home at the end of the day. So, but Joe, he took care of me that night, and I can't say nothing bad about him. He's always been super, super nice. We've had some great conversations. Yeah, good dude. So now that's the end of me talking about Joe.
All right. Let me cut you off before you start again.
Okay, go ahead.
So my number 6 is the it factor of professional wrestling. Bobby Roode.
Okay.
Great as the tag team with James Storm, Beer Money.
Mm-hmm.
If I had a Mount Rushmore tag team, they'd be on the right beside the Good Brothers. So I always loved that tag team. I think I didn't like how Bobby won championship at first because I was a bigger James Storm fan than I was a Bobby Roode fan. But looking back at it after, it does make sense. For phenomenal athlete. It just, I don't know. It took his career when he smashed that beer bottle on James Storm's head, won the TNA title. It took his career to the next level. And at that time, it didn't matter which wrestling company it was. He was, in my opinion, the best heel there was in professional wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So, so he has some great matches. The matches with James Storm, after when James tried to win the title back, uh, all of those, like the little group of fortune with him, like pretty much like all the younger, like the homegrown people,
Yeah.
uh, great group and everything. Uh, but he when he cut his long hair and had short hair, it took his career to the next level.
Yeah.
Like he was a champion, a world champion, but cut his hair and turned into more into that it factor of professional wrestling. It really shot off, and I'm happy he's a producer in WWE. Uh, Great mind for the business. Uh, it sucks that he got there, in my opinion, a little too late in his career.
Yeah.
He should have got there like sooner. Um, but shame on WWE, in my opinion, for not making him a world champion on the main roster because he deserved it too. Like he was a main eventer,
Yeah.
so but he's number 6.
I agree. Bobby Roode is one of the greats. You know, he started off the early what they were called Team Canada with D'Amore and had that group, and that's how I first noticed Bobby Roode. And then I got to work some Hermie Sadler shows with Bobby Roode. When I went to TNA, I did quite a few of the Beer Money matches, and remember they were working the angle with what's his name? It was Doug and Nick Aldis. Was it?
Yeah,
What's his last name?
Magnus.
Well, that was what.
That's what he was at TNA. But Nick Aldis.
Yeah, Nick Aldis teamed with Doug. I can't think of his last name.
Doug Williams.
Was it Williams?
I think so.
Okay, but Doug.
We'll go with it.
Okay. But they had some good tag matches on house shows. I remember towards the end we had some fun on some house shows with them four, and they did the Beer Money thing, and crowd loved that dude. So
the crowd ate that up.
Yeah, so I could see Bobby being in the top 10. He certainly deserves it. And Bobby is also just like Joe or James Storm or R-Truth or any of these guys, a great dude down to the core. So he deserves it. Yes. So that's a good one. I like that. So we're halfway through. We're getting ready to hit number 5. And you're probably wondering who my number 5 is. Well, it's not from the older TNA era. It's more towards this latter part of TNA. And it's none other than Josh Alexander. Little known fact, I knew he had the title a long friggin' time, but I didn't know he had a total of 335 days. Apparently, he's the longest reigning TNA heavyweight champion of all time. Since the first, when they opened in 2002 to now, right? So Josh Alexander stays in number 5 for me because one reason is because of that factor, right? He held the title the longest. 2, he's had some really good matches, the stuff I've seen. I don't know his whole career, but I think he's a fine athlete, and he deserved to be in the top 10 somewhere. And he hits number 5 halfway just for the fact, the main reason, because he held the title the longest. But he's an all-around athlete, man. and I loved his gimmick. So of the newer TNA era, he deserves to be in it, and that's where he came in at.
Okay. The walking weapon. I like it.
Yeah,
Uh,
he had a good tag partner too, Ethan Page.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. The
Yeah.
North.
yep, good tag team. That was a good tag team.
So, believe it or not, he did not make my top 10.
Oh, that's fine. Not everybody's going to make yours or mine.
And before he became the longest reigning TNA champion, that honor did go to Bobby Roode. So he was the longest reigning at the time for
Are you sure?
Josh Harris. Yep.
It's not Jarrett?
Nope. Bobby Roode was the longest.
I need to look this up because
Now,
I thought it was Jarrett.
Now they could have said like maybe NWA TNA Jarrett did, but there for a while the TNA they said Bobby Roode was the longest reigning TNA champion
Until Josh Alexander?
Yep. Look it up. But you can look it up next time because right now we're going to talk about my number 5. And my number 5 is somebody that put a whooping on you. Samoa Joe.
Okay. Joe hits a little lower on yours than mine. Wow.
Yeah, I put Joe at number 5. He was so dominant. I mean, like, I don't know if like the whole concept was like him, almost like a Goldberg type thing, like how he was like unbeatable. But look at what he did just for like the X division. He changed the X division for what it is or what it like how it was. Because there for a while it was like it had to be a certain weight limit, had to be a certain thing and everything.
Yeah.
Well, Joe comes in, he could do all this stuff, and so they were said like no weight limit, no restrictions, like do whatever, and they changed it for somebody like Joe to prove that he can go with like these younger. I mean, he was young too, but like the smaller wrestlers, the high flyers and stuff. Then, in my opinion, like Kevin Nash had never broke Goldberg's win streak.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't think Kurt Angle should have beat Joe's streak. He was, I think, a homegrown talent should have probably beat the streak, but then it would have never made sense in storyline for him. But he was just so dominant. He was intense. He had the power. He had the speed. He had the athletic. You looked at him, you don't think he can do what he did, but when you got people up in the crowd saying Joe's going to kill you, he's going to kill you.
Yeah.
And the only bad thing is, after he did whatever to James after that match, James is here doing the podcast with us. So,
yeah.
I mean, but no, Joe, he definitely deserves to be up in the top 10, and I put him number 5.
Number 5. Yeah. So, number 4 is coming up, dude. We're already down the last 4 of this top 10. And so let's move forward with this. Number 4 is none other. And let me start with this. He had 4 title reigns in TNA. You may know where I'm going with this. You may know who it is already. You may not. He came in to TNA probably around 2005. He's also known as the Icon. He is none other than the man called Sting. Hits number 4. And the reason I say that is because, and let me know if I had my years right about when he came in. He may have came in a little sooner, but I think it was about 05. He helped bring this brand, and they're on Spike TV. And I think, from the rumors I've heard, Spike helped pay his contract, to have him on have him in TNA and all that, because Sting was one of the more higher paid guys on the roster. But he has this. He's the former NWA WCW heavyweight champion from the from the Turner days. Flair made him in 1988 at Clash of Champions when he had that 45-minute draw and the judges picked Flair to win. Flair won the judges over. But Sting took him to the limit, and one of the best matches of all time was 1988, and Sting was still learning. He's probably his first 3 years in the business. But to be that long in the business, we went out on top a couple years ago at TNA, right? We remember that. But, Sting's had such a long career, and I think he helped bring TNA to that next level. Had good matches with Jarrett, Joe, Angle, Christian Cage. If I missed somebody, please tell me. AJ. He worked them all while he was there. Mick Foley. Abyss. Can't ask for a better world champion on your roster and a better guy on your roster. So Sting hits number 4 just because, 1, who he is, what he gave to this business. 2, he had 4 actual reigns in TNA, and he helped carry that brand during a time when there was no wars going on in wrestling, but he helped bring back the brand, and it made it feel kind of cool to have Sting on the TV. It kind of compared to, not as much, but it kind of compared to WCW days. Hey, Sting's on TV. It's an alternative. The alternative had Sting, and Sting meant such a big deal. So Sting hits number 4.
So, yeah, I respect that. He definitely deserves to be in the top 10 for sure. But I'm not gonna say where he is on my list, if he even made the list.
I don't know yet. I don't even know who your number 4 is quite yet.
Well, do you really want to know?
Yeah.
Well, the one that lost his wife to Jeff Jarrett, and I'm talking about the man Kurt Angle.
Okay.
Kurt hits don't know why 4. I went with. I don't know why I went that way to introduce him to the list.
Me neither.
But Kurt Angle. I mean, what can you say? You know how good he was in WWE, right?
Yeah.
That comes nowhere compared to where he was at TNA. TNA, he was in his prime.
Mm-hmm.
Comes in and does whatever with Samoa Joe. Comes in, hit butts up, and makes him start bleeding. Just to start off that feud. You got him with the great matches with AJ, Samoa Joe, Jeff Jarrett. You know, he had it. But when he came in, he took TNA to that next level. Like, if it wasn't for Sting, or not Sting, because you talked about him, but if it wasn't for Kurt, I don't think TNA would have gone to that next level. Kurt coming in and having those matches like he did, it was like it really made TNA definitely the number 2 wrestling company out there.
Mm-hmm.
No questions about it. But like I said, with his coming in, headbutting Samoa Joe to start that feud off. Great way to come in. I don't think he should have beat Samoa Joe's streak, but it makes sense. Like if you sit back and watch it and stuff.
Yeah.
But the Godfather of the main event Mafia. So and then there for a while, Kurt Angle held the X Division, Tag, TNA World Champion, and then the IWGP Championship all at one time on TV. So, I mean, just a star power, he deserves to definitely be on the list.
Right. I agree. Hey, Kurt Angle. Yeah, I like your number 4. And to sum that up real quick, number 3 for me is the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle. Same, a lot of the same reasons that you just gave. Kurt would be in it. And, you know, I also look back. I'm going to tell you a story real quick. Kurt Angle won his first world title in late 2000 WWF on a Raw. Nitro, WCW, was in Little Rock, Arkansas, and we had our Nitro going on, right? And on the other channel, we had their TV show on in the dressing rooms. We watched their product just like they watched ours, you know, because competition is competition. No matter if one's declining or not, you still got competition. So, and I swear to you, you saw that production value that night. You saw what he could bring to the table that night. And I remember that moment. Working for WCW, I remember watching Kurt Angle win the WWF Heavyweight title on Raw. And it was just a big moment. And that's one of my first memories of him. And then all his classic matches with Eddie Guerrero, man, Shawn Michaels. Kurt is certainly one of the best in the whole industry, not just TNA, in the whole industry, pound for pound throughout the decades. He's one of the best. And of his era during that time, he might be number 1 or 2 out of every wrestler during that period when he was at his prime. Kurt Angle is just great. So it's number 3 on mine.
All right.
Man, we're getting down, Mike. We're getting down there. We're getting down the nitty gritty.
Yep. Yeah, I respect your number 3. But to make sure that, to kind of prove that this wasn't planned, my number 3 that I made a long time ago is the Icon Sting.
Okay.
Like, our 3 and 4 got just switched.
Yeah, that flip-flopped.
Yeah.
Like, I had no idea what yours were.
Yeah. Sting, man, like, what can you say? Look at him in WCW. And then he just brought, like, you thought he was done with wrestling.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like, what was it? Like, his bat showed up in the ring first.
Mm-hmm.
And then just how that whole thing came out, like, it was just amazing. Just actually watching it and everything. And then him winning the championship, like you said, and everything. One of my favorite parts of Sting in TNA was actually the Joker Sting.
Yeah.
When he was doing it with Flair and Hogan and stuff. It was a really good time with Sting. But the thing about him was, unlike the other legends and stuff, like, I know some will get back to the business and stuff. Sting, he did give back to the business. Giving all these younger talents like an AJ and like Beer Money, Motor City Machine Guns, all of them, giving them a chance to, hey, I know I was a legend in WCW and stuff, but let's show the people what you can do.
Right.
And he helped put a lot of people, like, eyes on all these other people, and he helped grow TNA. So that's why he had to be number 3.
Okay, that's a great answer. And I love Sting from Surfer days all the way up,
Yep.
man. So
He's a joker.
yeah. Any times,
Any version of Sting is good.
and who else can say that? I don't think not many people in this business or any business can say that. So
Like what would you say his least favorite character was?
I don't know.
Like,
Has he ever said?
you can't pick one. Even when he was like the authority figure over like the knockouts and stuff, what he was doing with like Madison Rain and like him doing like that comedy like squeaky voice towards Madison Rain was
Mhm.
gold. So whatever he did was just great.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he had a bad character that he did.
Right. Yeah, I don't know either. He everything he did was just great. Sting is just one of them guys, man. I mean, that's why he lasted so long.
I mean, the only thing I don't like about Sting is his run in WWE.
Well, a lot of people soured on that. Yeah.
But I think it's just because the whole WCW and WWE throughout the years and stuff, and Sting was the big force in trying to kill WWE, you know.
Yeah.
And he didn't come over when they tried to when WWE bought WCW and stuff, but he stayed out and everything. So that might be a reason why that run didn't do so well. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, but like I said, I enjoyed Sting back from when I first saw him. He was with Bill Watts, right? But when Crockett took over the Mid South UWF territory and started giving him a run, and you got to know him more on their TV, and the next thing you know, in '88, he's getting a run with the Nature Boy and really elevated him to the top. And then when Turner took over late '88. Sting was in a feud with Dusty against the Warriors. Remember, that's the big spike angle they did on TBS with Dusty getting spiked in the face, and they had to censor it. And then Dusty initially, from what I heard, he got fired over that. The main reason. But then I don't know if I believe that or not, because Dusty stayed through the first part of '89 before leaving, right? I think it was more of Dusty wasn't going to have a booking guy no more, and he just didn't want to just work for them, and that's when he went to Florida, started his thing down here, and then of course we all know the history ends up being polka dots. Okay, but no, Sting went in the next year, man. He was TV champion, beat Mike Rotunda. Sting had a feud that summer going into fall with the Great Muta and Gary Hart and his crew with Terry Funk. They had tag matches with Flair. It was Flair and Sting. They had the big what would they call that at Halloween Havoc that year? The Thunder, was it Thunder? No, it wasn't Thunderdome. Was it? I can't remember. The big cage match anyway. And then, but Sting was a big part of that, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sting deserves to be on any list that's got pro wrestling written on it.
Yeah.
And if anybody disagrees with that, they don't know their wrestling. That's for sure. So where we go now? Number 2.
Number 2.
Number 2. Who's ready for number 2? Okay. Number 2 is Jeff Jarrett. And a lot of people, before you speak, guys, you're going to say, well, was he just NWA champion? Listen, it was called Total Nonstop Action from day one. It was TNA from day one in 2002. So Jeff Jarrett deserves to fall on the list, on TNA list. If he's not number 2, he should be number 1. That's the fact. And with the number 1, you'll understand why I picked 1 in a minute. But here's the problem. 1 and 2, if I wanted to, I could flip them around and it'd still be a great answer, because both these last 2 are the greatest champion of TNA history. But Jeff, I'm going to say he's number 2, but he also deserves 1. I will say that. because Jeff Jarrett is not only the founder and made this possible for these guys to have dreams and to carry their legacy. That's how James Storm's got a legacy. It wasn't from working in WCW the late days, was it? No, it was from TNA. Chris Harris, TNA. All these guys have a legacy. AJ Styles, TNA. You get where I'm going with this. So being the founder of TNA, a Hall of Famer, and having the title carried, not just total title reigns, but from June of 2004 to May of 2005, 305 days. I think my math's right on that. I think I got the right number. It's either 305 or 340. He was the heavyweight champion straight for almost a full year. Just say that. So my math's off. If it's almost a full year, it's more than 305.
You're a month off. You said 305.
Yeah. I'm giving Steiner math today, right?
Don't forget about the 2/3.
That's right. But anyway, almost a full. Let's just say this: for a full year, almost, he was the heavyweight champion in that year. And he's the founder of the company. He's a Hall of Famer in TNA, Hall of Famer in the WWF. I call it WWF still. And he's got that lineage, family lineage, third generation in the business, grandfather, father. His grandmother even helped run the professional wrestling business. The Memphis territory is the hottest territory, one of the hottest territories of all time. That's arguable. That's why I say one of the hottest. And everybody knows how I feel about the Memphis territory and the Jarretts and the Lawler and all that. Top-notch, man. Top-notch professional wrestling. Greatest of their era. Jeff Jarrett is number 2. But could be number 1. I had to say that.
Could have been, but for you, he was not number 1.
Huh?
But for you, he was not number 1.
Like I said, my 1 and 2, you could flip-flop and everybody would not argue.
Well, my number 2 is a former member of the greatest faction ever.
I know where you're going.
Bullet Club.
Okay.
I mean, he was a former Intercontinental Champion. He was a former World Heavyweight Champion, former United States Champion. But the biggest thing is he was the former member of the Bullet Club.
Okay.
And that is Double J Jeff Jarrett.
Ah.
He was a member of the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
For a short period of time.
Okay.
So, you thought I was going to go somewhere else?
I did.
Well, I'm not. I mean, you got to think, like, if it wasn't for Jeff Jarrett and Vince McMahon, there would not be a TNA wrestling. And why you say it's Vince McMahon? If Jeff never held up Vince McMahon for all that money, and Vince McMahon fired him, he would have never created TNA wrestling because it wasn't really anywhere else to go. Like, do you really want to go, like, a big star that you was becoming in WCW? You had your name out there in WWF and everything. Do you really want to go to like AAA and all that, New Japan, after you really started making big and stuff? No, I mean, I personally wouldn't. But if it wasn't for Vince firing him like he did, Jarrett he wanted to prove that he had what it takes. So, started the company and everything. If it wasn't for Jarrett, it would be no TNA. It wouldn't be no AJ Styles. It wouldn't be no Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels, Petey Williams, Motor City Machine Guns, James Storm, Bobby Roode. It wouldn't be none of them. We might not have got Sting back in professional wrestling.
Right.
Because how it ended in WCW, I don't think he was going to go to WWE anytime soon. So I think he would have been done. It's like, if it wasn't for Jarrett, we might not have had AEW neither.
Right.
Like, so Jarrett, what he did for the business and everything, I can keep going on, like his championship runs and everything. But you already went over that. So, but people might say, "Oh, he's NWA champion."
Yeah.
Well, like you said, it was NWA TNA. They say that from day one
They did. They
and
did.
everything. So it's still TNA champion.
Yeah, that's not even an argument to have.
So
Yeah.
he deserves it. A Hall of Famer. And then plus, when you go out there on live TV and sing "Alone with My Baby Tonight," you got to be in the top 10 of any list. So,
that's one of your favorite songs of all time, isn't it?
It is. It is. I play it for my hot American wife all the time too. So, but yeah, he deserves to definitely be up there. And like you said, between him and I have a feeling the next one, it can go in and out. So,
well, so guys, here is what you've all been waiting for. Do we need a drum roll for this, Mike?
you can do a drum roll.
Okay, so we're going to do a drum roll, guys, because this is what you've all been waiting for. Maybe even add a gong in there for you. So let's get this started, guys. Who's ready? Here we go. And this little Japanese type gong there, buddy. So, number one, he did wrestle in Japan quite a bit. He is, I'm going to say it just like you were talking about someone else a minute ago, former member of the Bullet Club. He is homegrown TNA talent from day one. He is not only a TNA heavyweight champion, but an X Division champion. He is a big star in the WWE currently, or past tense now, depending on what you hear. He is a great worker, some would say. Some would say maybe even have him as an exceptional worker. But the moniker he had is what suits him. He is none other than the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. Number one greatest champion of TNA history, AJ Styles. Face of TNA, homegrown from day one, one of the greatest talents ever. Got his start in 1998. Somebody had some false information about how many matches he had in 99 online. I had to recorrect them the other day because AJ started in late 98. I refereed his first match in the Georgia area and refereed his dark match in WCW, January 2001, Baltimore, Maryland, against his soon-to-be partner that year in Air Raid, which was Air Paris. They worked each other to get a job in WCW, and they did. Came from NWA Wildside, and he's from Georgia. One of the greatest talents of all time, hit number one on my list.
Your list kind of turned out phenomenal.
Yes, it did.
No
pun.
No pun intended.
Maybe.
All right. I need a drum roll. I want to catch in my drum roll.
Okay, here we go. You ready? You ready? You ready?
I'm ready. My number one is the former TNA champion, Tessa Blanchard.
Are you really going with Tessa number one?
I told you it's going to be a swerve in this.
Wow, bro. Wow. You really
Yep.
went out there with this. What is going on?
I mean, when you are a woman dominating in a man's business and everything, you deserve to be number one.
Wow. Wow. How many days did she even hold the title for?
I don't know, but guess what? She did not make my list. I lied to y'all.
Oh, man, you about to get me all mad over here. Who's number one?
Actually, my number one is got the same name as me, Mike Santana.
Is number one Mike Santana?
No, he is an honorable mention though.
Okay.
My number one is the former leader, not former member, former leader of the Bullet Club. He is a Grand Slam champion, the first ever Grand Slam champion in TNA, a Grand Slam champion in WWE. He is Mr. TNA. He is the face that runs the place. In TNA, WWE, New Japan, doesn't matter. Ring of Honor, you put him anywhere, and he is still going to be phenomenal.
You gotta say the name.
AJ Styles.
All right. You know what, Mike? I cannot believe that we had number 1 and 2 the same. But I can believe it because that would be no other better answer. And we haven't talked about this in months.
No, I made my list a long time ago. You made yours. Well, we ain't talking about that one.
I made some of it a long time ago, and I stopped it, and then we never got back to it. But
no, man, what can you say?
Yeah,
like his career, man. I like it's hard to talk about it, but he is the first Triple Crown champion in TNA history. He is the first ever Grand Slam in TNA. The Grand Slam champion in WWE. There's wrestlers out there that could only get one or the other in each company. He's got it in both companies. Like I said, the former member of the Bullet Club in WWE, he was great. Thank you, AJ, for bringing the Good Brothers into WWE TV, because if it wasn't for him, I don't think they probably would have made it to WWE. A former member for like 5 minutes of Aces and Eights.
Mm-hmm.
But so you got the NWA Championship runs. They was great. But like I said, something about Sting and everything. He was the one that passed the torch.
Mm-hmm.
Different wrestlers helped the wrestlers. That match that AJ won his first TNA, like actual TNA championship, that wasn't with NWA, is when they broke off and had their own TNA championship. Sting gave AJ that match, and he pinned Kurt Angle to win that match and everything. And just to see the emotion, like, don't get me wrong, he was probably proud of being the NWA TNA champion, but being the face of the company and then winning the actual 100% nothing else to a TNA championship, see the emotion on his face and everything, it was just really phenomenal. And then like the whole lone wolf character that he had. Do you remember that one?
No.
All right, so it's kind of when he went to like the little bit darker side,
Hmm.
like right during the Aces and Eights types, and he was off TV for a little bit and comes back with like started to grow out the hair, the beard, some.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, and then he did the Bound for Glory tournament that year. He won, and then he said he was giving out like a really good promo about carrying the company on his back. They asked him like he'll do it, and it sounded like he was really like upset about like frustrated with not upset but frustrated about that.
yeah.
But then he turned into another gear and saying that he loves being that guy for TNA and everything. It's like just see the passion that he had in TNA, and then it still carries on all these years later in WWE when he was at NW or New Japan and everything. You can
Right.
see the passion and everything. If you had a really, in my opinion, if you have a top tier list of TNA wrestlers, and honestly, if AJ Styles is not number one on that list, you got to go think about it because Jared is good. He can have an argument about being number one, but if you talk about the whole entire time, the backbone of the company, the like I don't want to compare it like this, but the John Cena of TNA
Hmm.
is AJ Styles. No matter what, if the company was going downhill, what are they going to do? Well, let's put the title on AJ. He carried us before. He'll carry us again, and
Right.
then the ratings and stuff will go back up. It's just how he is. Really phenomenal matches in TNA. Uh, so I don't like how he lost championship to Magnus.
Hmm.
Uh, but storyline purpose makes sense. But I don't know how he left the company because I think they want to make him work more for less pay.
Hmm.
I, honestly, I don't blame him for leaving. He
Yeah.
probably didn't want to. He probably wanted to stay there until his last day. That's who he was. Uh, but yeah, it's like I said, if it ain't AJ Styles as number one, y'all gotta probably rethink y'all list.
That's right.
Uh,
Yeah, that was a good top 10 you had, man. I can't really disagree with any of the guys that made the top 10. You had me really riled up when I really thought you was going Tessa Blanchard way. Mike Santana I could have lived with, but for some reason I don't think her run was that good, and I don't even
Mike,
remember it.
like okay, so Mike Santana, he probably would have made the list,
Yeah.
maybe if, and it's a big if we did the list next year, 2 years
Hmm.
down the line.
Yeah.
He may have made it, but you got to think he just became TNA champion. He lost it what really quick with that trophy Collier shot trophy thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then he just won it back. So it's not really like a big memorable run, but he's a good athlete. He's gonna be the one that carries the company into the future.
Right.
Um, but I mean, we got so many wrestlers that honestly we didn't even mention that we
Hmm.
could have. Like we could have mentioned Mike Santana. We like what about Moose?
Yeah.
Moose is really good.
Yeah.
I think he. Uh, I think he could have made a top 10 list for TNA easily. Uh, like honestly, we was joking, but Tessa Blanchard, she's a TNA champion. Really don't know how, but she did. Jordan Grace, I think she's a TNA champion, ain't she?
She was the heavyweight champion?
Was she? I can't remember. I know they were trying to push her at one time. I don't know if they actually pulled the trigger or not. I can't remember. But then Brian Cage, the Machine, Brian Cage, he was good. Uh,
Yeah.
Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin.
So I just looked
Bubbles.
up.
Don't forget about Bully Ray. His
Yeah.
run with Aces and Eights is really good. I don't know how we both forgot both brothers, but Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
I mean, they have so many great champions.
Right.
What were you gonna say?
She won the title in January 2020 from
Jordan
no.
Tessa.
Yeah, from Sammy Callahan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, it was weird because I think she could have won like a certain match and stuff, but with Sammy, it was just it's hard to believe that. And then Brian Cage, as big and muscular and powerful as he is, and she beats him to retain the title. It's just I don't know.
I just don't.
It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Thank you. That was what my main comment was going to be. It's not believable. And I'm not a big fan of intergender type wrestling. I think it's great that we have the ladies divisions everywhere to let them have their spot in the light, right? But we also need to keep it separate. And this is nothing against it. It's just my opinion. If somebody likes it, go ahead, watch it. But I'm not into intergender wrestling, and I'm also not into intergender sports as well overall. You know, we have that controversy. Remember, we're trying to keep that out of the sports. So why wouldn't we treat pro wrestling the same way and let them have their own divisions, right? But it is what it is, and it is pro wrestling, and it's not the way we should look at it though. Oh, it's just pro wrestling. It's okay. That should be nobody's theory. Oh, pro wrestling's for everyone. Let's have fun. Pro wrestling's not for everyone. Let's just say the fact. Pro wrestling's not for everyone to be in it. Everyone to watch, I have no problem with. But for everyone to say, hey, I want to be a pro wrestler, I want to be in this league or that league, no. It's just the truth. But she can go down in history. If it'll go down in history, she was a TNA heavyweight champion, regardless, right? And she is a good worker. I'll give her that. But I just, I'm not knocking her for her work. I ain't saying nothing negative about her as a human being. But when it comes to pro wrestling being intergender and all that, I'm just not for it. I never have been. So it's just my take.
I mean, look at Sammy. I mean, look how intense and violent he is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And you want us to believe that she could beat him? Like, it's just unbelievable. And if you're thankful for Ross, guess what? Email us at WrestleRef.
That's right. Let me put that up there.
WrestleRef123@gmail.com.
That's right.
And if y'all think it's believable that she could beat somebody like a Sammy Callahan or a Brian Cage,
send it to us.
The championship and to retain it, y'all are probably pretty dumb. No offense.
Yeah. But you know, it's kind of like this, Mike. You look at pro wrestling the way it used to be, to where we got it at, right?
Yeah.
You just can't believe. Okay, maybe a woman will jump in there and they get in a confrontation, but do we believe? You know, back in the Crockett days, would we have saw anybody beat Flair for the World Heavyweight title or Dusty? No, it would have made no sense. Or Hulk Hogan, for God's sakes, in his heyday. Hey, you're losing to, I don't know. I can't think of anybody right now. Losing to Beth over here or something, right? It's Hogan been like, that don't work for me, brother. It shouldn't work for you.
Well, what about Goldberg losing
the streak to that? Yeah,
losing it to Miss Elizabeth.
Yeah, believable? No. So I see, you know, but me and you see things the way the business should be. But it has changed a lot. Trust me. I had back in 2016, we were having this problem. And I would go out of my way to tell the people, hey, you're looking at this the wrong way. This is not how it's supposed to be. These intergender matches make no sense, no psychology at the end of the day. We should not be doing them. And people would argue with me, saying it's just pro wrestling. It's just pro wrestling. But to me, it's not just pro wrestling. It's this big scheme. It's the greatest sport ever to me. So when I see things being flawed, in my opinion, I said my opinion, being flawed, it kind of hurts, So
Now, now we're going to go back in time a little bit with our number 2 on the list, Jeff Jarrett.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's really believable that he would have lost to China and lost the Intercontinental Championship to her? It was almost like a Street Fighter or something.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
Like,
I don't know, dude.
It's not. Look, I don't care. It's not believable for me. Even with weapons, like if Jarrett swings one thing, he's gonna knock her out.
Yeah.
And that's just how it is.
Yeah.
Like, maybe a guy can keep going, but it's just not believable.
Well, that's
my opinion.
That's a part that's part of the business that it all started, though. That era, we started not long ago doing stuff similar to what we're talking about, and that's where we are today. So the trend was already getting there slower and slower, and we may not agree with it, but they do what's best for business, as they say. So who's to argue, and we're not running these companies. So I don't know. I don't really care for it. But then again, there's somebody that cares for it and somebody going to watch it,
Yeah, I don't care too much for it. Like, I'm okay with like the mixed tag team, but then you gotta be careful because some companies will let, like, if the guy's in there, like the girl's in there too, and it's still like the same thing. It's just not believable. But like WWE did that mixed match challenge a couple years ago, and that was good and stuff. But it was still like girl on girl, boy on boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
that's good.
But
keep it like that.
But I also don't believe up in the Lucha Underground thing. You remember that?
Yeah.
The wrestling Handcuffs versus Chelsea Green, and it was like the main event and stuff. Kenny's gonna kill her. Like, no offense to Chelsea Green, she's a good athlete. She's a good, like, women's United States champion. But it's not believable that she's gonna stand that long in a match with Penta.
I totally agree. I don't agree with any of the intergender type wrestling. It's it really doesn't belong if we're trying to look at this as a real sport, which, everybody knows it's sports entertainment, but at the end of the day, which way the NFL's going, they may go that route. They may start letting everybody play together. Who knows, right? But, just like we're trying to keep certain people out of girls' sports, it should be the same way. The guys wrestle the guys and the girls wrestle the girls, and we keep in their own division just because it looks better. And it gives the girls more of a spotlight, in my opinion, because when you put them against a guy, you're kind of overshadowing some of their talents because, once again, like you said, it's not believable. So, but yeah, I've always been against that throughout the years, and I always will continue to be against that. And that's just my opinion. So, but then again, like I said earlier, I hate the saying, wrestling's for everyone. No, it's not. It's not for everyone to be in, first off. Now, everybody should have been a pro wrestler. Let's just be honest. But we went that trend too, that a lot of trainers out there that are not even notable will start training anybody, right? But back, even when I broke in the early 90s, I'm going to say
they even trained you. I mean, it's not for everybody.
Okay. But back when I broke in, it was a privilege to be involved in the business, and it was something special. You felt important because I was asked to be a part of their group, right? And then learned the business back before it started souring really bad. But it is what it is, and that's a different topic for a different day, you know. So, but I think today we hit on some really good stuff, my man. We hit on the top 10, our favorite top 10s, TNA heavyweight champion. We both had good guys in the rankings that deserved it, and both had good choices. And our opinions on these guys are great. You know, I had a good time talking about it and brought back some old memories, personally knowing some of these guys. And we want to remind you guys to let us know what you think about this one. You can email us there. I promise we're bringing back a all question episode and comment episode really soon. And you can send it to the email wrestleref123@gmail.com. Send the questions to both of us, to one of us, whoever you'd like. Make a comment to one of us or both of us. And me and Mike both will be more than happy to answer it. And other than that, Mike, we do need to remind them one more time before we go. This right here.
This episode was sponsored by Cowboy Revolution. And James has been forgetting to mention it's for the veterans.
It is for the veterans.
So that's very important.
And they save what, Mike? They save a whopping savings of 15% on their checkout.
15. Yeah.
You can't beat that. You're helping the veterans when you buy stuff, and you're saving 15% off your orders, guys.
Saving money, support the veterans.
Yeah. Can't beat it.
I mean,
it's summertime, bro, coming up.
Saving 15%. You can go to a local indie event.
No.
I mean, they got awesome hats, shirts, hoodies. We're still kind of in that hoodie stage here. It's been a little bit up to 60s and stuff, but it's supposed to be raining again in a couple of days. So hoodies would be nice. They got tumblers, bags, decals. You can slap a decal right up on your vehicle, go down the road, and tell everybody that you support the veterans.
That's right. And just mention this, though. Just like our number one was phenomenal. My weather down here has been phenomenal, Mike. It's been really nice down here recently here. The sun's been out down here near Tampa. It ain't been cold. I ain't needed no hoodie down here, my man. I'm enjoying this weather. Palm trees. Good stuff.
Well, your weather down there might be phenomenal. Ours down here is almost like trying to believe Tessa Blanchard should be TNA champion.
Oh, God. No. Okay.
So,
well, nothing against her. We're not knocking her.
No, she's a good wrestler, but she needs to stay in her division.
There you go.
It's a women's division for a reason.
That's true.
Like, what are you going to do? Start having men wrestle in the women's division and win their world champion?
WWE Divas champion next week. Hey, listen, WWE Divas champion next week will be
Roman Reigns.
There you go. I couldn't think of nobody right off. I was going blank as soon as I said it.
It was that or CM Punk.
Hey.
Oh.
Who knows? Well,
I mean,
do we have to touch on anything else this week before we head off into the sunset?
I mean, we can't forget about to mention Chris Benoit needs to go into the WWE Hall of Fame.
That's right.
Don't forget that.
Don't forget, guys, we highly recommend that Chris Benoit go into the WWE Hall of Fame. We should get a petition started to get him in there in 2026 this year. We should start the petition now. We need to get him in the Hall of Fame, guys.
Look, I'm going to go on record to say we do not support the actions or stories that are out of what happened. We don't know exactly what happened. I think it's a conspiracy. I don't think he really did it. That's just me thinking it. If y'all think something else, email us at JamieRussellRef123@gmail.com.
That's right.
But we do not support what he what he did or the stories that are out. We don't know the truth. Nobody knows the truth. The only ones that do know was in that house. So we don't know what happened for sure.
Yep.
I think
That's
it's
right.
conspiracy. But wrestling abilities and everything, what he did for the business, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
That's correct. And once again, go to the checkout at Cowboy Revolution, Jamie T123 to save 15% off. Here's the email address. Any of the topics we talk about, you want to make a comment, got a question, or if you got a idea for a podcast or want a certain guest on here, we can try our best abilities to get them, and we're more than happy to try that for you. Just let us know what your opinions are and your questions. And I think we had a really good episode this week with the top 10. It was very good to talk about.
I know people's going to say, because we don't, what we said about Tessa Blanchard and Jordan Grace and China, they're not believable to be in the men's world heavyweight championship picture. People's going to say whatever about that, but it's true. They do not belong in it. We are not sexist. We are just being real. They do not. It's not believable.
Yeah.
We don't want to hear a comment that says, "Oh, y'all sexist." No, we're not. We think they're all good athletes. It's just not believable that there's going to be a guy that's 200-some pounds more heavier than them in a match.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly.
I know we was going to get a comment from Mr. or Mrs. Anonymous that says we're sexist.
Yeah.
We're not. Guess what? I got a smoking hot American wife. I'm not sexist. Just saying. Just throwing that out there. And James is married to the beautiful Jules.
There you go.
I don't think she's sexist neither. We're just being real. Like, it's just not realistic that they're going to be somebody that much bigger than them.
That's right.
So.
Yep. I couldn't say no better. I mean, that's the true opinion. You know, but what are you going to do? So with that, in closing, Mike, you got anything else? Because I think it's time to wrap this up and get another one for next week planned and get back on it.
I think we're good, buddy.
All right. So, guys, listen, we look forward to hearing from you. We look forward to you tuning in. We look forward to you listening. So, all major platforms, remember, it's the bottom of the screen. Watch on YouTube, listen on Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio, and Podbean. And until next time, peace out.
Bye, everybody.
20 in the golden one, dropping wrestling talk. Wrestling adventure storytelling, no fake news here. Yo, Mr. 20.